Morning all, welcome back. Beautiful day for you today. It's only 8:30. We're up nice and early, and a place called Jack Bridge, Colden, a little village just outside Hebden Bridge. I jumped on a bus and the 596 from Hebden, and here I am. I'm going to take you a nice little walk. It's something we haven't been before, a bit of a break from our Castle Crags. So I'll just explain where we are. Right, as you've seen, we're outside the New Delight Inn at Jack Bridge. Up that way is Colden. There's Colden School, and a bit further on there's the Hebden Bridge section of the Pennine Way. And up this way, this heads towards Blackshead, which is another little village hamlet outside up on the tops at above Hebden Bridge. I'll just take you around here. This that New Delight, typical sort of hillside Yorkshire pub. They do meals and good beer apparently. Nice big car park. Plus it's got a campsite, which is quite handy. If you're doing the Pennine Way or you're just on a bit of a trek around the Pennines. That's it. It's quite a nice looking campsite. We've got some motorhomes on there, but we've picked a good couple of days if they're already in today. But as I say, if you follow this road up, it goes to Blackshead, and that's Hebden Bridge, New Delight, Hebden Bridge Camping Centre. It's even got a bit of an igloo sauna, cold plunge. You've got a book for that. Right, the reason I'm up here, I'm going to take you down a little country lane, and we're on Hudson Mill Road, as you see. It's part of the Pennine Bridle Way. Nice little run out. Now we used to use this quite a lot in the police Land Rover. It was like a shortcut from up here at Colden down. It comes out at Mytholm down right at the bottom of near Burnley Road at Hebden Bridge. Yeah, we had some fun and games on here. If anybody came down to come and work with us, what we'd do, we'd find some of the remote tracks to take them down. Of course, this is an unmade track, and it says there's no entrance, so it's no through way for ordinary vehicles, but I used to take great delight in bringing folk down here. And I actually when you want to drive certain vehicles, like you've got to go on a course for basic beat vehicles. Then if you want to specialise after that, you've got to take a separate test. And of course with Land Rovers 4x4s, they needed to do a test. So what they used to do, the instructor or the examiner is a police sergeant, used to come out from Crofton, just outside Wakefield, where we had the driver training school, and he said, right, just take me somewhere that off road. So I used to take great delight in coming down here because I had a Land Rover of my own, and I used to drive up and down here. We used to go to we used to go to New Delight, which we've just been to, for a couple of jars and a meal. So I knew this track quite well. Sounds like we've got a Chinook coming our way. If it does fly over, I'll let you have a look. Yeah, back to the track. We've got some lovely cottages up here, and at one time there was some, I think it was Hudson Mill. There were a big, I think it was a cotton mill. Yeah, a big cotton mill which we had up here back in the 1800s. You can see it remains of some of these mills as you walk around. Long since demolished. I think they stopped using them in the late 1800s. Yeah, that's it. I'll just let you have a look across here. Yeah, as you can see, it has had some quite big constructions here. Like I say, they've since pulled them down and built houses in the place, and as you see, the track's getting narrower and narrower as we go on. But yeah, we did have some fun on here. I spoke to a lad a couple of months ago, and I was telling him about this track that we used to use, and he said, we used to use it as well. They'd go for a night out in New Delight, and instead of going on the road dodging bobbies, they'd come on here to sneak back to Hebden Bridge undetected. So I'm amazed we didn't bump into them on nights coming up and down these tracks. What else we used to do is, if they ever asked for a location from the control room, we used to give them some really obscure places, and this was one of them. So I don't think this actually appeared on the map at one time. So we used to find some really, like I say, obscure places to pass our location if they ever wanted us. Now, when I first came up here in September '89, like I said, I had my own Land Rover before I passed my Land Rover test for the police. Just down here, I don't know how they only got down here, but there was it's gone now, obviously. There was the remains of it looked like an old Vauxhall car from 50s and 60s. It had been dumped there. Probably somebody had rolled it downhill, and it was there for years and years. And I think eventually either council or countryside folk had got rid of it. But that was there. Oh, yeah, it's a cracking day compared to yesterday. I was going to come up yesterday, but the weather was bloody atrocious. It was snowing, and it weren't right nice at all to come trekking out countryside. I mean, I do like to get out for a walk and show you some of these places, but gave it a miss yesterday. A bit of a fair weather walker, a bit of a fair weather filmer as well. So off we go. Like I say, I don't know how the hell we drove on here. People paid hundreds of pounds to come off-roading, and we used to get it for naught and then get paid for it used to get paid for it as well, so which was a nice one. yeah, I'll just show you down here. You can see there's, if you look down, there's like little bridges and walkways that you can get a bit further inside the countryside. But I'm sticking up here at the rickety old lane. Wow, it is lovely. Going back to old mills, they were all built at the side of rivers and streams and stuff too. Obviously there were water powered mills. I think by mid 1800s a lot of them sort of disappeared. They went on to steam power, whereas I think it was the communication for the places as well, because they were quite out of the way with these places. But, there's some lovely little walks, and this one in particular is part of the Pennine Way. This little pathway up here that leads to Blackshire Head, and you'll see Studley Pike in the distance, and this one takes you down to where I've shown you earlier on, down the little pathway. So and there's the bridge across there, look, takes you up to Colden, and eventually out onto the road, and then across to May's shop, which is part of the Pennine Way. You can buy just about anything in there. It's really well stocked. Lots of people do call in. It's quite a famous spot. There is May's. I don't think you can probably just see it in the far distance there. So yeah, lovely. What a day! Picked the day for this one. I'll just carry on with walk. And let you enjoy the track and the day out. As you see, when we go a bit closer, it does get a bit precarious, and driving down in the Land Rover, I could see the passengers reaching for the door, handle above the door, and there were some strange expressions as they looked down into the dip. And I just carried on driving. I thought it were quite funny, really. Now then, as you can see in here, it's the site of an old quarry. Now they would need quite a lot of stone to build these mills and the little cottages surrounding. So this were cut into the side of the track. They've been quite a busy job doing that. It's with all the building that were going on in 1800s. So I mean, I didn't really notice them till years and years later. You should just drive past and think note of it, really. So, so I'll let you have a little look down the ravine. It is a gorgeous part of the world, and that's where we've just been up. So, yeah. Looking at the tracks, it looks like we've had some motorbikes down here. I don't think anybody comes down in any cars anymore. But we were certainly up and down here, especially on nights. We could just sort of sneak around and pop out of nowhere, really. You come down without any lights on. We used to spook some lads and lasses that sent down to work with us. And I think one Christmas, I can't remember which one it was, but I think the chief superintendent came down to do a bit of a visit, and he were wondering where the bloody hell I'd taken him. But another one that reaching for the door handle. Oh, and we've got another quarry. Yeah, must have taken some shifting doing all that. Strong blokes doing that job, but it was needed, and it was the run up to the Industrial Revolution, where Britain ruled the world in industry and commerce. Any bother, they just used to send a gunboat to sort folk out. Now this one here, it's got some trees that have fallen down. But one day we came down, and they built. We don't know who it was. But that were all clear. There were that fallen tree weren't there. But somebody built a bender, which is like a big shelter made out of the frame, made out of bits of wood and fallen branches and stuff. Quite an intricate thing. But as you can see, I've just put a bit of a drawing or a bit of a photograph on there, illustration of how they actually build these things. And there were a lot of skill. I mean, when we looked at it, we just it wasn't covered it with tarpaulin, and it must have been, I'd say, late 80s, early 90s. We did have quite a lot of problems with some travellers that turned up. About 1989, and they were stopping up at Duke's Cut, up at Blackshire Head. Now, it must have been absolutely bloody freezing, and it was 89. It was like winter of 89, because my lad Daniel, he'd only just been born in 89, October, 17th of October. And I went up there. We used to have to go up there to do intelligence gathering and jotting down reg numbers of these crazy vehicles that they turned up in, like old buses and old army trucks, and there were quite a few those bender shelters up there, and there was a woman there with a baby about the same age as Dan, I just thought, bloody hell. It were absolutely bloody freezing. I don't know how they coped up there in winter, but I think they moved out shortly after, as soon as the winter set in, like December up to January and February. It got that bloody cold. They moved on to pastures new, and I think went down a bit further down, flew south for the winter. It were bloody freezing, absolutely bloody freezing. And I felt sorry for kids up there, you know, with crazy parents doing all this bloody daft stuff. They didn't drop too far out though, because they were claiming benefits, which the DSS or DHSS as it was turned up, and they were paying them benefits on site rather than going down to Halifax, which is like encouraging them really. You know, it was just, I found most of them to be like from well-off families, just pretending to be socialists and things, and you know, ban the bomb and destroy society and all this palaver. But you know, that's little old England for you. Yeah, like I said, they didn't last too bloody long once winter set in. Cold started. So that were it, they'd gone. I think it was about the same time that a farmer up on top's called Fred Poyle, and he got snowed in, and we actually got the helicopter out, X-ray 99, to drop him some feed off, and May from shop, she made him a parcel of like a hamper of food, so he had some food for himself and some for cattle as well. It were proper survival stuff. So that's how it was. As you can see, the track's got decidedly worse. You would better get down here in a landy or some form of 4x4, more for ground clearance than out else. I wouldn't be bringing an ordinary car down here, not unless it weren't yours and you weren't too bothered about knackering it. But yeah, I'd say it's easily done in a landy. I'd certainly come down if I had my old Land Rover back. So, aye. I'll just let you have a look across here. We're talking about old mills and stuff. There's a chimney. I'll get a good spot and let you have a look across. There's still one at Mill Chimneys here. I think is it Lower Lum Mill. Of course, there were a higher or upper Lum Mill. So there you go. Yeah, that must have taken some bloody building, you know. Well, that's it. Most at Stone were all local from these quarries that I've just shown you dug out into hillside. But it must have been bloody tough work, really. Because there's no machinery as such. It were all done by cart and might be a bit up on here, look. You see there's the river stream coming down, which should have fed the mills. A bit more at Chimney there, and it'd been a hive of activity really, with all local folk moving in and going to work every day at mill for 12, 14 hours, probably even longer. A tough old world. And probably once they got here, and that's where they'd stayed from cradle to grave, hardly moving out of the place. So Yeah, I think that one's for upper, and with this one down here is the lower one. So they've all gone, of course. The stone being used for building some of these houses that we have now in this area. It's a grand spot. I'd say I'd definitely come down in me an old Land Rover, or one of those newest Grenadiers, which is like a Defender that Land Rover should have built, rather than going all posh and little Range Rovers. But yeah, proper working vehicle, I think. And if I were a farmer or lived in some of these places, I'd definitely have one of those. Definitely have a Grenadier. So, oh, here we go. Look, this must be lower one. Or wow, look at that, another chimney. That's the site of another mill. You can see the bridge there that we built to access it. Somebody down there having a go at doing some renovations. The digger there digging away. What a spot! Been a cracking spot, that. Let's get a better view for you. I'd say come up in a few months. There's houses there that possibly built with a stone, big pile of stone there, which has probably come from old mill. So yeah. Right, another point of interest. The big house up on the hillside there. Now that is the Avon Foundation, which is a charity set up in mid-60s. I believe Ted Hughes and Sylvia Plath had some involvement in it. It's still going, and if you go online, I'll put details of it online. You can attend like 5-day courses or whatever it is. Where you can have the staff there give you guidance on how to write. I'll write your stories or your novels. So it might be worth bearing in mind if you're thinking of going down that route. Right, we're more or less at the end of this little track. That's where we've been. And looking around, you can see it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, if you do manage to get down here, if you head towards Mytholm, I'll show you at Bottonet Hill how to. It's a nice walk either way, and I say we're more or less coming to the end of this track now. Some houses here that signifies that we're coming back to civilization. So, I'll just show you another one across here. Now, one of my old pals I were in police with from early 80s, late 80s to early 90s, a lad called Tony. I spoke to him last year. We were talking about writing, and he was asking about how many books were going. And he'd actually been on one of these writing courses at the Avon Foundation, and he said it was really beneficial. He said I don't know how far he's got with writing this book that they were telling me about, but he said it was well worth it for this course. I think he was doing a novel. I don't think it was so much as like mine with diaries and stuff. But now you can. It looks a bit precarious to get there, but you can get to it from Smithwell Lane as you come out of Hebden Stall. Just watching where I was going, and yeah, another tale, totally unconnected with writing or anything. But I once got involved. I think I mentioned it in my first book. In what I recorded as probably the slowest car chase ever known to man. I saw a Land Rover, an old Land Rover that were coming through from Todd with a lad in it who'd been wanted for bloody months and months. So I whizzed round in beat car and I set off after him. Blue lights and sirens and all the rest of it. Coming back from, I got through Charlestown, tried to overtake, and it was just pointless. He just kept on at about 5, 10, 15 mile an hour, all through Charlestown, and then up. He turned off up Hebden Stall Road, and then we set off, same speed. I was making. By this time, there were a couple of more cars that had joined in the drama. All through Hebden Stall village. They must have thought it was some sort of bloody carnival that we were part of. Through Hebden Stall village, and then suddenly he cut down, I think it's Green Lane, down towards Avon Foundation. I thought, well, he's not going to get anywhere now. It's that's it. It'll be there's no way out apart from how you get in. So he eventually stopped. I think he run it against a dry stone wall or something, and we'd by this time, like I said, some of my pals had turned up. A bit of toing and froing and some rolling about in the mud, and we managed to get him locked up. I think it was CID that ended up wanting him. We wanted for car thefts and burglaries and all sorts of stuff that was outstanding for. So we were transported down to Halifax, and I had to recover this bloody Land Rover. We could have called for Ian Coates, who had a recovery truck, to come and take it, but I don't know what happened. I can't think of the reason why, but I ended up driving it all the way to Todd. There were bloody puffs of black smoke and coughing and explosive exhaust going off, and yeah, that looked like a good run. Right, as we look across from this track that I'm going down, there's a row of red brick houses there. That's called Eames Avenue, and I believe one of my old Navy pals lived there at one time. Also, Sarah was brought up round there before they moved to Mytholm. I don't know which one it was. She did tell me once, but I've since forgotten. but it's a lovely little spot. It's got its own park and everything there. So that's Eves Avenue. Yeah, I've been into one or two houses. I ended up getting a job as an estate agent when I left the police, and I did show quite a few people around there, and they're nice little houses, and it's a lovely spot. Yeah, you're only like 5 or 10 minutes away from Hebden, so Hebden town centre. So that's Eves Avenue. Yeah, so just where those cars are there, that's the beginning of Mytholm Steeps, and a bit further down you get to Mytholm itself. As I'd been coming on, it just reminded me then about Eves Avenue. When I left the Navy back in 1980, I ended up being a postman working at Halifax. Now, what happens when I think your first 2 years, it's called subbing. Basically, what you're doing, you're filling in. You haven't got one of your own dedicated walks. That's like a route. So what you ended up doing was filling in for lads and lasses who were on leave or sick or whatever. So you're doing different. You're turning up and doing different routes. Anyway, for about a month, I don't know what had happened. I think one of the lads must have taken ill or something, and I ended up being sent down to Hebden Bridge. Now, it's the first time I'd ever been to Hebden, and I thought, oh, good bloody hell. But when I got here, it were lovely. Lovely little town with the hanging baskets up at springtime and summer. It were really, really nice. But the first day I got here were a Monday, and they gave me the Mytholm walk, which sounds like a dance, but it was just just the route that covered this particular area. And I think it started at bottom of Church Lane. I did the police houses. I ended up living up Mytholm Steeps. I'll show you where it was. Eves Avenue, which I've just mentioned, and then partly up Mytholm Steeps. Then you cut off on here on this track. I'll show you where. Should have brought my bird app. So, what a gorgeous day for a good day today. So basically I set off, and because there weren't much mail, it didn't. The route didn't really follow, because not everybody got mail on a Monday. So I came up here. Basically, I think they had some mail for those houses a bit further on. I delivered to this place, which was the vicar's schoolhouse. I think that belonged to the vicar at Mytholm Church. Next ones I had were, I think there were a couple of items of mail further on that track where we've just been. And then I looked, I couldn't really work out where I was supposed to be going next. Walked a bit further, found a track leading down to Lower Lum Mill houses. Nobody seemed to know the addresses, so I just carried on. If in doubt, just carry on. Ended up going to Avon Foundation. They didn't know where I was or where the next drop-off was supposed to be. And before I knew where I was walking through Hebden Stall, bloody miles away from where I should have been. So I was totally bloody lost and absolutely mad with myself for not turning round and going back to the start and try to walk on from there. So I've got myself bloody lost, marching through bloody Hebden Stall, and I thought, where the hell am I? I'd never been there before in my life. Asking directions, which I got some bloody strange looks. and just just carried on coming back to Hebden Bridge with half a mail sack full that I couldn't find. Luckily, like I say, there weren't much mail left. Then I asked one of the older guys. He said, "Oh yeah, so you just turn round when you get to that one of those houses on that track. You don't go all the way on." So the next day I found where I should have been. I should have been up at further up Mytholm steeps. So that were that one. Right, we're now in the little hamlet of Mytholm. There's Mytholm School there, which my daughters went to, Kerry and Vicky. It's a little church there, little Church of England church. It's a lovely part of the world. And there's some lovely little, some big houses as well. But yeah. So that was the church. That's the church, and like I said, I just showed you where Vicky used to live. I don't know what the setup is now, but yeah, it was all very quaint. We sort of moved in it must have been September '89, just before Dan was born, and just a bit further down here. And you can see through trees there, that's the old police houses. Oh, somebody just built something on it, so extended it. The far end of number 1, then number 2. We were at number 3, which you'll see as we get a bit further down. But a lovely spot. Girls used to walk up to school, and yeah, nice little setup. I'd started at Hebden Bridge police station, and then I'd have built on more or less another house. But all this it were all open. It were all like a shared sort of garden. That was our old one there, number 3. There's the old church. What we did notice, especially when I was working nights, of course the church bells were chiming all the time. And I think they went into at night. I think they may have stopped about midnight, or I don't think they did. I think they carried straight on. But it's like living next to a railway. You get used to the noise. But, yeah, you get used to the noise and the church bells, and it was all very, very rural. Like being in there. I've often said it was like being on a heartbeat. But that's number 1, number 2. Yeah. I'm sure some of my old policing colleagues that lived here over the years would appreciate this. The police sold them on. They sold the houses on, which that little scheme came to a halt, where we got free accommodation. That was part of your contract. You could either live in a police house, or you could have a rent allowance, which basically paid for your mortgage. So yeah, here we are at bottom of Church Lane. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, bit of church bells ringing there for you. Yep, so I hope you've enjoyed it. We're at bottom of Church Lane now, and that's the end of this little video for you. I'm going to walk through Hebden. I'm going to call at one of my favourite cafes and have a brew of tea. It's 25 to 10, so it's a nice little hour trek route for you. It's got a bit warmer as well, so nice one. Right, I'll I'll see you soon. Take care, just enjoy the videos, don't take them too serious. Alright, see you soon. Ta-da now.